Hello and welcome to San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans.
By the fans.
I'm with
Justin Smead.
And I'm Josh Taylor, and we're talking San Diego sports. We want your voice to be heard. Give us a call, 619-387-3452. You want to talk Chargers, Aztecs, Padres, Norv Turner, whatever you want to talk about, San Diego sports, give us a call. We actually have Steve on the line right now that wants to talk about
Big Steve.
Norv Turner and his turkey neck. Steve.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
What's up, boys?
What's going on,
brother?
Yeah, you were talking about Norv Turner. Go ahead, bro.
Well, I'm over Norv. I mean, I think everybody in San Diego is over Norv, bro. But
get out your Fire Norv shirt.
Yeah, that's been out for sure. My Matthews jersey's tucked away. I went and bought myself a Breeze jersey.
That a boy.
Might as well cheer for an old Charger.
There you go. I respect that. I like Drew Breezy.
Hey, what's up with you guys? Might have some insight for me. What's up with Vincent Brown, and when can we see him back again?
Honestly, last I heard, sounds like there's a good chance he might not even play this year. His healing has taken a lot longer than they expected, and I don't think they're planning on rushing him back for the fact that the season's pretty much over.
Yeah,
to say the least.
For you fantasy crazies out there, yeah, I don't think he's going to come back anytime soon. They were projected to have him back by this time or a couple weeks from now, but I think
Kansas City game.
Right, but even now with us such in a deep hole now, 4-7. It doesn't look good at all. Because why bring him back and a chance of him re-injuring that thing? So I'd leave him on the shelf till next year. He could be a beast for us, and it's just sad he was out the timetable he was. Man, he is such an intricate part of this offense, and I think it really could have helped Phillip Rivers this year.
Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like Brown and Rivers and Matthews are all in the same boat. Just none of them could play this year, right?
Right. It's a sinking boat.
Right.
It's a boat that's sinking.
Right.
So Vincent Brown's out for the season. Same with Rivers.
Well, I wouldn't for sure say Vincent Brown's out for the season. I've heard that he might be out for the season. They might want to play him the last couple games, but from what I heard, they might not want to risk the chance of playing him this year. So we'll see. I mean, he might get some opportunities to play, but I mean, the games are meaningless at this point. So we'll see.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, I heard Antonio Gates was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Why is that, Steve?
Well, he's playing older than shit. I mean, he looks his age on the field, though, guys.
And he's forgetting how to catch touchdowns, right?
Yeah, he's definitely forgetting routes, forgetting how to catch a ball. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, I know. He's just not getting it thrown his way. I don't know what's going on with that situation. 2 catches for 13 yards, I think it was, or a couple weeks ago. I'm like, dude, what is going on here?
Hey, Steve, got a question for you. Want your opinion on that 4th and 29 failure that our defense couldn't come up with. What's your feeling on that overall, as far as the play, as far as what you had a feeling for, as far as where the refs placed the ball? What's your whole feeling on that whole debacle?
It's funny you asked me that. I actually called in and talked to Darren Smith Monday at XX 1090, and him and I were in agreement that whether it's a bad spot or not, it shouldn't even gotten close. I mean, how on a 4th and 29, how do you even give up 28 yards?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the first question.
It doesn't really matter. It could have been 4th and 5, and if we gave up 5 yards on the 4th down, we shouldn't. I mean, it's a complete. It's embarrassing, man. I'm completely embarrassed. Way
embarrassed. And you saw the 3, I think it was linebackers and a safety over pursue the whole play. They whiffed, and he gets in the open field. And for me, it doesn't come down to okay, well, yeah, you gave up 29 yards. That's you can't do that. That's sinful. But the next question to me is, how can the refs look at that play and be realistic about it? You know what I'm saying?
As far as the spot.
Right. You could see where his knee was, and you can obviously tell the guy's a short man. He doesn't have an extra 1.5
He's got 3.5 feet of torso.
That's what I mean.
And there's 3 feet in a yard, but they give him a yard and a half.
A yard and a half. And I'm like, there's no way you can give him that ball just on logistics, on reality, and being, real with the play. Come on, man. Nobody could do that. You're not Stretch Armstrong. But,
Well, you guys, bad things happen to bad teams.
They do.
Okay? Good teams find a way to win.
You're right.
And bad teams find a way to lose.
And you're right.
And let's face it, we're a bad team, and you can't even. We deserve the fact that we gave up 28.5 yards. We deserve to let them get the first down. We deserve to lose that game. We played like complete dog shit.
Oh, absolutely.
And that play to me is our season in a nutshell. I mean, every week in and week out, there's one play that defines the game that we end up, on the wrong side of the ball where we end up losing the game. And what happens week in and
they find
out.
a way to lose. They've lost with leads. They've given up big leads. They've lost where we thought the refs screwed them in New Orleans. I don't know if we all agree on that. I thought so. But different ways to lose ball games. And we're sitting here going, these aren't the Chargers we signed up for. I mean, the way the season has played out from what our onside was at the beginning of the year is bar none. It's here, and then our expectations were here, and now they're down here, and it's like, what the hell are we? What do we sign up for? All this talent we brought in?
Well, and what's frustrating is the fact that other than the Atlanta game, we were winning every single game in the fourth quarter.
Very frustrating.
Every single game we were winning in the fourth quarter,
and
we gave up 10
and like
plus
Steve said, bad
on a
teams.
consistent basis.
Bad teams find a way to lose.
Right.
I agree with Steve on that.
Chargers are playing about as good as Justin's fantasy team right now.
On that note, have a great night, Steven. You take care. Take care. Thanks for calling, bro.
Peace.
So what is the future of this team? I mean, from the coaching aspect, the quarterback aspect,
right?
Is this a future rebuilding aspect, or are we just a couple key players from having a competitive team?
I think we are an offensive line away. I think we have a call here. Who's on the line there, Jace?
We got Surf Rat on the line here.
Right on. Surf Rat, what's up, buddy? It's San Diego Sports Junkies, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, man. Me and Lindsay are sitting here watching your show. I get an alert that lets me know you guys went live, so
thanks, dude.
Logged in right away.
We thank you for the support.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, so we're talking Chargers, and I figured I'd give you a call in and give you my 10 cents worth.
Hey, dude, we love 10 cents or more.
Let's hear it.
I could actually give you a lot more than 10 cents worth, but we'll just stick to the 10.
There you go, bro. Fire away.
Yeah, so anyways, as far as our season goes this year, we started out strong. We were doing good, and then it seems like Norv doesn't want to change his game plan. It's like, and you can see Rivers even get mad about it. He's like, He wants to do something. Norv says no, run it up the middle. And I always say, why do they keep running up the middle when they know it's not working?
Right.
And we have so many weapons to throw the ball to. I mean, even Matthews can catch.
Right.
So why not throw the ball a little bit more?
Right.
I don't get it.
I think they need to mix and match it a little bit. I mean, if you constantly are throwing the ball, the defense is just going to throw 8 in the box, and they're going to just slam Phillip Rivers because our offensive line is terrible. I agree with you. We need to run the ball more, not so much up the middle because our offensive line can't open up holes. Whether they bring Ronnie Brown into the mix more because he's been effective out of the backfield, toss plays. They do need to mix it up a little bit because, again, if you just go full blow. Did we lose him?
No, I'm here.
If we go full blown on the passing game, they're just going to shove 8 in the box.
Yeah.
It's going to make us a one-dimensional team, and Rivers is just going to get absolutely murdered behind the line.
Right, and I agree. I agree with you. You too. And you look at some of these numbers with Ronnie Brown. I mean, these are guys we shouldn't be throwing this much to. Ronnie Brown has 41 catches this year for 326 yards. Is he lined up in the slot somewhere that I can't see? Because I don't see him in the slot. I mean, we shouldn't be giving this many targets to the running back. I mean, back in the LT days, yes. But with guys that you brought in, Eddie Royal, Robert Meacham, Denario Alexander, which is coming on strong, who I love. He's awesome. Norv's play calling has always been suspect, and as Charger fans, we know that. We know that for the last 5 years. Ever since we started going downhill, we've questioned Norv's inability to call plays. So for me, we should be used to this by now. I mean, I was telling Josh not during the game, yesterday, we're at the end of the game, they passed it 3 short passes in a row, and they needed to run out of the clock. They needed to run a clock there, and they made a bad decision there. Gave the ball right back to Baltimore. I don't know if you remember that. You were at the game.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, 3 short passes in a row. None of them were. I think one was completed, and the clock barely ran. It's like, what are you doing? And it's like opposite of every situation.
That's coaching.
He runs when he needs to pass. He passes when he... Yes, that is coaching. Philip doesn't change every play. So in that sense, yes, I just think Norv's out the door. But for one, it's just his play calling has been so suspect in the last 5 years. Everybody scratches their head when he calls plays. It doesn't make any sense at times. So for me, the guy's got to go, and I think every Charger fan is just fed up at this point.
Right.
Well, at this point in the season, what are you guys' thoughts on why don't we just go ahead and just lose the rest of the season and try to get a couple picks?
Yeah.
I mean, is it worth even staying in it now? We can't even get to the playoffs, so.
Yeah, you never want to concede defeat.
Right.
There are competitors. They get paid to play. As a fan, I don't want to see that. I want to see them make a strong finish, even if we're not going to make the playoffs. I'd love to see them knock off Cincinnati. When we're playing, I think we play the Jets. I want to kill the Jets. I hate the Jets. There's some things I really would like to see.
Yeah,
I don't want to roll over, but in the same sense, we're not a very good football team right now. We've got to get on the same page as everybody else,
right,
and get on a little roll. And our shot at making the playoffs is slim to none. But I think in retrospect, we just need to kind of take the future in hand, see what we have. Like Josh was touching on, Brandon Taylor,
let the young guys
Sharice
play.
Wright. Yeah, some of these guys that haven't got a lot of playing time. Let's see how they do, and then figure it out from there.
Okay, so everyone wants to get rid of Norv, and I agree 100%. Norv's got to go. I mean, Marty Schottenheimer was a better coach, and there's no doubt about it. But
pure coach, yes.
Not only does Norv need to go, but A.J. Smith's got to go with him.
Yes.
It's hand in hand. They both got to go.
Right, A.J.'s man.
Well, and you know what's funny about that is I was actually listening to 1090 on the way over to the show, and they were talking about, everybody's harping on A.J., but you remember that Spanos got rid of Bobby Ross after he went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got rid of a Super Bowl coach, and this was pre-AJ. So it's kind of like those two are in bed with each other in a way. I mean,
it should be that way.
They both
he hired him.
Right, but they both have made some poor judgments as far as coaches go, and I think their ego gets in the way.
AJ has no room to talk. I mean, as far as talent, he had one good draft, I think, 2 good drafts maybe that were solid. The last, 5 drafts, number 1 picks that have just sucked. Larry English, who's the wide receiver? Buster Davis was literally a bust.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm sorry, who?
And we're still not seeing returns on some of these guys. Corey Leggett's finally coming to his own. I really like how he's playing. Larry English, I don't think is ever going to be a player. We'll have to wait and see on Melvin Ingram. I think his second year is going to be a lot better than his first. Kendall Reyes, I think, has a lot of promise. These are guys we can count on. But some of these guys he drafted in high picks before, where are they?
I think we have another call trying to get through.
We have another call coming in, bud.
I'll let you guys get going, but one more thing before you go.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Tomlinson, what he said about when they were in their prime with LaDainian when he was on the team and they got rid of Drew Brees. LaDainian completely said it on an interview that they were definitely a contender to win the Super Bowl when they got rid of Drew. And should have never done it.
Right.
Probably would have won the Super Bowl with that team at that point, and that was due to the general manager.
Right.
So that's my thoughts. I think they need to get rid of AJ and regroup and get back to.
We agree with you.
Get back to Charger football.
Yeah, amen, dude. We agree with you, and thanks for the call and thank you for the support, man. Tell Lindsay I said hi. It's been a long time.
I will.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, cool. Thanks. You guys have a good night.
Bye.
You too, brother.
All right.
I mean, I couldn't agree more with the fact that we've talked about this on numerous shows. His leadership is just not there.
No.
Like you said, the last 3 plays were passing the ball when we should be running time off the clock.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to make first downs.
Right.
We want to try to push it down the field, but at the same time, we want to keep the ball in the field of play. We want to run time off the clock and leave little opportunity for them to, put points on the board.
Exactly. I think we have another call coming through.
A couple things. Booga's been trying to call in, so hopefully he tries to call back.
Yeah, okay. Booga, call back, dude. The lines have been jammed. So
they have been jammed. A couple things that are going on in the chat room, guys. One of the things is, what do you guys thought on the big contract that Jared Gaither signed?
Right.
21 $21 million. That's been talked about in the chat rooms.
Well, let's add that up real quick. Between Robert Meacham, Eddie Royal, and Jared Gaither, you're about at $60 million, I believe.
And what's got you is 4 starts. It's got you how many catches?
Well, Robert Meacham has 14 catches the entire season. That was a huge acquisition for the Chargers. 207 and 2 TDs. That's ridiculous. Eddie Royal has 16 catches for 134 and a touchdown. The guy they just brought in 4 weeks ago has more yards combined than both of those guys, and he's off the streets. He has 20 catches, 365 yards, and 3 TDs. That blows my mind. That is great talent evaluation by A.J. Smith. Another example.
Alexander, yeah. Talent evaluation.
But, I mean, your top 2 free agents? Right. That's bad.
Top 3.
And then Jared Gaither. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Gaither, you put a 4-year contract for $21 million.
Jared Gaither bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sad to see him go.
He won't be here next year.
We also got Rad5Gen in the chat room saying they went to the game and they watched the guy almost get arrested because he hung up a banner saying to fire AJ and Norv. What do you think about that?
I saw that. I was in the yes, it was on the west end zone, I believe, and it was a big yellow sign.
I've seen that a couple weeks in a row, though.
Yeah, no, they. Why would he get arrested?
There has to be more to that story. I've seen that a couple weeks in a row, and I
don't know why he'd get arrested. Freedom of speech.
I agree wholeheartedly.
It was on the side where they were kicking a field goal late, and I could see it hanging down. It said, "Please, Dean, fire AJ and Norv," in huge letters. It was awesome.
Yeah, it said something about they thought that it was offensive. They said it was offensive. That's why they.
Norv Turner is offensive.
Yeah.
His face is offensive.
The football they're playing is offensive.
His play calling is offensive. What the product we see on the field is offensive.
AJ's inability to speak to the media is offensive. AJ's inability to evaluate talent for our football team is offensive.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Gaither's
if it's offensive,
offensive.
effing well, then go screw yourselves.
Well, I mean, bottom line is the fans don't deserve the product that's on the field.
They don't.
I mean, we wait week to week. We invest a lot of money in memorabilia, into clothing, into tickets, into tailgating. You know, we wait all week to see, our so-called playoff contending team completely shoot themselves in the foot from week to week, and we don't deserve it.
Every week. No, we don't deserve it. No team deserves it. But who said football, it's not an easy sport. It's not an easy sport. But from what expectations around here have been for the last 5 years, things should be a lot better than they are.
Right. So back to my question before we got that phone call, as far as our future of this team, what needs to take place? Obviously, we know we need a coach. I guess my question is, what coach do you have in mind, or if there's a few, and bringing those coaches in, do they keep Rivers? Mm-hmm. Do they draft somebody to replace him in their offense? We got another call coming in. Bear with us here.
It's Booga.
Booga Pete. We'll get Booga's answer on this question.
Right on.
We got another call coming in, folks.
We're just going to take calls the whole show. We got a lot of material.
Booga P on the line here for you guys.
Booga P, San Diego Sports Junkies. What's going on, brother?
How we doing, fellas?
What's going on, man? How are you doing? Thanks for filling in the prior week.
Oh, hey, no, we missed you, man. Glad to have the A-team back on there.
There you go. Yeah, B performance, though. Not very good.
Whatever. Hey, I'm still in mourning, for the 2012 season. I'm sure you guys are in that same
I went out to Qualcomm to pray the other day. I was so distraught.
Right, I went to deliver flowers.
Well, I invited Tebow to come back to Qualcomm, and he didn't return my call. I'm not sure what his righteous self is doing, but no, just watching what everybody has to say and seeing the emotions that are pouring out of people, and we already had everybody who was more than ready to jump ship, and now what scares me more than anything is the lack of emotion from the people that were already, 1 foot off the bandwagon, so to speak. It's just
complete apathy.
It's a perfect way to put it. I don't know what to say about the Baltimore game, except for, like we've talked about a couple shows, at least in the past, the defense allowed 13 points in regulation.
Damn good
16
performance
overall. Yeah. Great performance. That's minus, a guy like Butler, who obviously a player of his stature and ability comes out of the game, we lose a lot as far as that's concerned.
Oh, yeah. Him and Big B both.
Way to hang in there.
Yeah.
Him and Big B both. Big B is our second leading tackler on the team.
That's not a good thing.
You know.
No, that's a terrible thing.
When you're strong safety is your leading tackler.
Yeah, I mean,
it's terrible.
I'm sure he's somewhere singing the high notes regardless. So.
Yeah.
So, Booga, I got to ask you. I've been trying to ask Justin this question, and I want you to fill in your kind of your side of it. As far as the future of this team, you know, obviously, as fans, we all want change. Whether that's a coach and a GM. Some people, you know, a quarterback. What's the future of this team? What kind of coaches do we see potentially coming in here? When they come in here, what kind of changes do you see them making? Is it a rebuild time? Is it time for us to rebuild, or are we a few key components from being a contending team again?
Well, I don't think that we're anywhere near what you would consider as far as a player level a total rebuild. Anytime, and for those players or people who want Phillip Rivers replaced, they're not going to like this, but anytime you have an elite quarterback like Phillip Rivers,
he is an elite quarterback.
There's no reason to. Yeah, absolutely.
He is. I hate the people that say he's not. He's just he makes poor decisions at the time. I'm sorry, I cut you off, but I just hate that too, Booga. That bugs the crap out of me.
Well, and it should, and no apology needed. It's frustrating now. I can't defend the ball that he threw to Leonard Johnson versus Tampa Bay, and there's a lot of decisions that he makes that are frustrating, that it's like, goodness, man, I know you know better than that, but unfortunately we can't go back in time, blah, 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 happy horse hockey, blah, blah. Happy horse hockey. Here's how I look at it. We need somebody to get in there, and first off, let me start by saying A.J. Smith is more at fault with this whole mess than even Norv is.
Yes.
I mean, if AJ, I don't think either one of them should be retained. No. AJ, because he's the one who he shot for the groceries, he made dinner, and Norv's held responsible for talking to everybody who thinks it tastes like crap.
Right, exactly.
And he's just standing there doing his little, mamby-pamby, oh, well, here's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and we're getting better.
Unacceptable.
Yeah. We're getting better every week, and they're trying really hard, guys. They are competing out there. That's Norv. That's Norv's press conference.
He needs to go, but AJ needs to go as well.
I agree. The future of this team will be it'll be judged on what direction it's headed. I think we're not in rebuilding mode. The defense to me, Booga, is on the verge of doing some special things. I think we need to add a couple more key pieces on defense to be. I mean, the way the defense playing, Josh, I can't tell you. I've been proud to see the defense play so well. But offensively, been a mess. Obviously, you got to fix the offensive line. You obviously have to go draft maybe the first, second round big old corn-fed boys.
Absolutely. Call Nebraska.
Exactly. And no more of this, let's just put 8 on the line and protect Phillip. You got to have 5 strong linemen to play football, and to have a pocket passer like Phillip, you got to have your protection. You got to have your left side and your right side solidified. Clary is, he's okay. He's not great. He's mediocre. The carousel that is the left tackle, to me, is in flux. Left guard needs some work. Tyrone Green isn't the best option there, I don't think. Hardwick is a beast. He will always be a beast. I love the guy. And I think the strongest guy on his side is Louis Vasquez, and I like Louis Vasquez. But other than that, I think we need 3 new linemen.
Well, and hear me out before you answer, Buka. We almost lost Hardwick in the offseason.
I know.
He was ready to retire.
I know.
And after a season like this, I wouldn't put it past him to think good, long, and hard.
He might.
To retire.
He might.
Because why would he want another disappointing, season this? He wants to finish on a high note.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess you can give it one more opportunity if they make the right changes, but if they don't make the changes that, us as fans know they need to make.
You might see that total overhaul on the offensive line next year, and I'm not kidding you. You might see 4 out of 5 guys that are brand new on that line. I have no idea what it holds, but what do you think, Booga, on the offensive line?
I think I'd be terrified if we had to go through an entire overhaul. Vasquez needs to be re-signed, and he needs to be re-signed, in my opinion, before this season's up. Right. I really hope that Hardwick comes back just as much as the next person. Now, with everything that's going on this year and what's transpired and what a letdown it's been, I'm not sure how you talk him into coming back, except for the fact that with Philip still being here, the excitement of what will hopefully be a new GM and a new head coach, I'm hoping that type of thing and the fire in his belly just keeps him burning enough to keep him, wanting to get back on the field and lead our O-line and get with Philip and guys like Gates and even Jammer, who I'm going to go ahead and assume is going to be back regardless of what some people have to say. I still like Jammer. I don't know if he's going to convert to strong safety or not. I do have to say I did just see a tweet out there where one of our followers, Clarkinator64, was going back and forth in a conversation with Jammer, and Clarkinator64 had mentioned that to Jammer, he said, it'd be cool to see you play some strong safety in a rotation if need be. And he said, if they needed me to do that, I would love for them to do that. So maybe we're reopening that door that was brought up 3-4 seasons ago initially about that being a possibility.
Right.
But anyway, back to the Hardwick thing. I'm hoping that he comes back for the vets that are on this team and to give it one more shot.
Yeah.
Under new management and under a new head coach.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that we have a lot of great pieces in place. I don't think this is total rebuild mode by any means.
No.
I think, like you said, solidify the offensive line. That's my number one priority in the offseason.
Yeah.
Give Phillip time. And then I love what you said too. The defense in a lot of places we're young, but we have some good veteran leadership. Frankly, I don't expect Spikes to be back.
No,
I think they were hoping for something from Mouton. We'll see a little bit of him and Brandon Taylor.
I'd love to see Mouton. Yeah, definitely. Jonas Mouton.
I loved him coming out of Michigan.
I did too.
Super strong.
There's a lot of guys I loved out of. A lot of guys that were, AJ drafts, and you're like, man, this guy could be a stud. Brandon Taylor hasn't even seen the field this year, and all I could talk about, and when we drafted him, me and you were like, man, this guy's going to be an absolute beast.
Well, and right. Taylor, Ingram, Reyes. I think right now, let's be honest, we're not going to win out. We're going to find a way to shoot ourselves in the foot. As much as I'd say, love to say that we're going to win out, I really have no faith that they're going to.
Right. How could you with the way they've played?
But my thing is let the young guys play. I want to see more Reyes. I want to see more Ingram. I'd love to see Brandon Taylor in there. I want to see these guys that we have drafted, come up and show what they can do. Every time it seems like Ingram or Reyes is in there, they always do something, spectacular on defense.
Well, they're always in the backfield. They're pushing the line. I like that.
I'd like to see them have more of a role play the rest of the season.
Yeah. No.
And I think you're going to see that too. And for no other reason, half the team is going to be on the injury report coming up here.
Exactly.
Who I'd like to see a lot more of, and he came in the game a couple times, wasn't much of a factor, but was Ladarius Green. I want to see him start getting acclimated to the offense.
What a studly, what potential that kid has. Louisiana Lafayette, man, that kid can absolutely play. I want to see him on the field more, dude. Line him up as a receiver. He's lean. He's not really a tight end build yet. I would love to see him as a wide receiver. We're kind of short on that end anyway, so that would be good to see him out there.
See what he can do.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. The guy can fly, and by the way, he's 6'6".
He's huge.
The guy can get it done. Good hands, soft hands. He's a hands catcher. That's what we like, kind of a deal. I'd like to see more of him. But I think we're going to get a preview or actual game footage, if you will, of a lot of guys that we haven't seen anything from this year.
Right.
Because of what Josh said, we don't have any feet left to shoot.
No. You start now. We're starting on our kneecaps,
right?
Yeah, we've moved up. We've definitely migrated north, and let's not get too far north as men.
We've lost our legs and our arms. Just call me Bob. I mean, it's bad.
But no, we're going to see those guys, and it'll be good to see a lot of them get some playing time, and hopefully it truly benefits them. And I hope all the guys that are getting in there realize how important this interview process is, if you will, of getting out there and showing what they can do on the field. Because even if it's our vets, if they're not interviewing to stay with the Chargers, they're interviewing to still stay within the National Football League.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
absolutely. And again, I don't want to not talk about this. I really wanted to get your opinion on this as far as head coaches go. Justin heard, he's hearing a lot of stuff around here that was it
Andy Reid?
Andy Reid from the Eagles.
I know, that's what I said.
And obviously I think we talked about when you filled in for Justin, we talked about that coach from Oregon,
Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
There's Brian Billick that's out there.
Brian Billick. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there, but I don't know if they're willing to coach again. Bill Cowers of the world, the John Grudens, who knows? I mean,
so who honestly out there are actual people that we can actually see coaching the Chargers next year? What is your opinion on that?
Well, sadly enough, it only goes as far as the opening of the checkbook that Dean's willing to put that ink to.
Exactly.
And I don't see as much as, and I talked about this 2 shows ago and last show, is that I want to see a big name in there. I want something to kind of wake up, a lot of the fans. I want something to bring some life to the players and Phil Qualcomm
some
again,
enthusiasm.
The people of San Diego are probably a little sick of getting blacked out. I mean, we all know it's not exactly a cheap stadium to attend, and it's not actually the greatest venue out there.
I don't know why. It should be $4 a ticket with that stadium. I mean, goodness gracious.
The venue and the team, they should be paying us to.
They should pay us $5 a piece to go to the games.
Right.
They're actually flying me out for the Carolina game, the 16th. I'd like to say thank you on it now.
Yeah. We need fans. Support our team. That's funny. No, well, the thing for me, Booga, overall scheme of things, the new direction needs to change. It needs to change soon. I don't think you fire the coach in the middle of the year. I don't think that does anything for you. That just creates inconsistency. Like you said, get these young guys in here, see what they're all about. And maybe in the offseason we can look at a Chip Kelly, but Chip Kelly runs a special offense. He needs a mobile quarterback. That doesn't work for me. I don't see it working here. You'd have to get rid of Phillip Rivers. The guy from Stanford, I can't remember his name right now, but he's a young Shaw. Yeah, he's an up and coming coach. He was with Harbaugh, comes from that Harbaugh tutelage, and there's some guys out there dangling, but who do you really go after until the season's over and you really know who's available,
Well, not only that is we got to jump on that quickly. I mean, if we wait and try to think about, should we fire Norv? Should we keep him? Should we fire Norv? Should we keep him?
Yeah.
By the time they finally pull the plug,
pull the trigger,
we'll have options might be up because the Eagles are looking for a coach.
No, by the time
other teams are looking for a coach.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I would not be opposed to them pulling the plug on Norv now, is just for the fact that we can start the interview process. But if not, the minute that, fourth quarter clock hits all zeros on that last game, I think they should sit him down and be like, Norv, we appreciate what you've done. Have a nice life. And start the interview process, because the longer we wait, the less opportunity we're going to get to be able to get that guy that we want.
Yeah, the longer we wait, we'll have Jason Garrett.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, well, and they'll call Buddy Ryan, too.
Better than Jason Eidsmoe.
I love Buddy Ryan, but
Me too.
Don't quote me on that.
He's only 97 years old. He could fire up this team.
I'm not quoting you on it, but the people watching our show just heard you say it.
You know what? I tell you right now, he'd at least fight a guy like Norv on the sideline just to get the fans going.
Oh, yeah, he did it. He almost did it to Kevin Gilbride.
Yeah, he tried to sock him. No, here's the thing. You said it, Josh. It's not like we're going to be the only team shopping for a head coach.
Absolutely.
I don't want to get second.
Dallas, Oakland, from Kansas City. There's a lot of teams.
Somebody else. Yeah, absolutely. Within our own division.
Dallas is going to get
I don't want to see those guys.
Dallas is going to write the biggest check. You know that, Mr. Texas over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Go big or go home. You know what? Jerry Jones is going to be the coach. Screw that. He runs the team anyway. He's going to go down there. He's going to whip these guys into shape, dude. This is Jerry's world. Jerry's team.
I'm surprised you don't see him lining up as tight end.
It's something over there. It's something. I would never want something like that, but at least the guy's willing to spend money.
Yeah, and it doesn't say 12-gallon hat on his hat. It says coach, head coach.
That alone gets fans excited. You know that the owner is willing to put his money out there and try to make a winner out of something. I mean, it might not always be the right decision, but he's spending the money to try to make the right decisions.
Why can't Dean sell the team to Mark Cuban? That guy has some passion.
That would be awesome.
I would love him.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be insanely cool.
That would be
and I
great,
hate the
man.
Mavs, but I love him as
the
an
Mavs
owner.
too. Yeah.
He was actually trying to buy the Padres, man. I was really praying for that.
Oh my
honestly.
God.
I mean,
we would have had Josh Hamilton signed already.
Right.
God. Write a check. Here you go. Holy God.
I just love his passion for winning and he's sitting courtside and he's just in the refs' throats and
you don't see a lot of that from Dean.
You don't see that from a lot of owners, period.
Yeah.
And that fire and that intensity to want to win. That's exactly what I want to see running this team.
Right. Well, hey Booga, thanks for the call in today, man. Like always, we really appreciate the support. I can't find my word. I'm a little sick today.
That's all, folks.
No, I'm feeling kind of. I got sick at work, I think. Not good. So it was Joe.
I'm a lot of things. A lot of them that start with A, followed by an S, and then, we'll stop there.
No,
real quick, I just want to say this one thing. And I don't know if it's just me being a weird numbers guy, but the whole 4th and 29, I know, sorry to bring it up.
Yeah,
I do this thing with those type of downs, and I look at it, so like 4th is the 4th month, and then the 29th is the 29th day. It's like leap year. Nobody gets 4th and 29 ever. Except for like once every 8 to 12 years. So it's like our little.
So we're getting it out of the way.
Year. We're never gonna get to forget about it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Suck on that chill pill for a while.
Yeah, and
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we won't have to deal with that again, will we?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I had a blast. Keep doing what you're doing. And by the way, I really am coming to San Diego December 14th through the 17th. So we'll definitely have to hook up and go out and do a little bowl. Well, probably not bowling because Josh is okay at that. But we'll do something that I can win at.
Yeah, you might want to pick another sport that you might have a chance
at. Let's play him in horseshoes, dude. I'll whoop his butt.
Maybe some underwater basket weaving.
Yeah, I could do that.
Justin's a pro at that.
Yeah.
Hey, Booga, is that going to be a Tuesday you're going to be in town?
Jerry World out of basket weaving while I was underwater.
Hey,
so it could happen.
Booga, what days are those that you're going to be in? What exact days?
It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I fly back Monday morning.
All right, we're
going to get some people together.
Might do a Friday show.
A little bit of Madden. Yeah, that would be awesome.
We're going to do.
Me?
No, I'm not kidding you. We're going to do a Friday show. So you're going to be on the show on a Friday.
Have them in studio.
Yeah, we'll come pick you up from wherever you're at, and you're going to come in studio and do the show with us. Is that cool?
That would I'd be more than honored if you guys are down for that.
We'd be honored. What are you talking about? You can come hang out with us.
A little bit.
You can hang out with Tomlinson. Look at Tomlinson. This guy. He's sick.
Hey, we'll feed you some Flutie Flakes.
And you can put the helmet on and run through the tunnel if you want. You can run through the tunnel, baby. Let's go.
Guys, I'm down. I'm down. I'll bring my own Flutie Flakes. I'll bring my own helmet.
Nice.
I'm already jacked up and excited.
You should be jacked up. Bring some props, and I'll give you this stocking back here.
That sounds awesome.
Parting gifts.
I have so much to look forward to.
You
guys,
should.
Thanks a lot, man. We'll make this happen. I got your numbers, okay?
Yeah, you're
gonna, buddy. I appreciate it.
It's 100% happening, so I don't need any of this sick stuff. My dog died. I don't want to hear that.
I don't have a dog. I killed him.
Okay.
After 4th and 29.
After the game.
Your dog's name's Norv?
It was Dean Spano. Sorry.
You named your dog Norv.
No, I'll be into San Diego that Friday around 1:30 San Diego time. So.
Right on, man.
Sounds good, brother.
All right, later, guys.
Good talking to you, bro.
You got it, man. So that was Booga P. He's a sports writer for boltbeat.com. You guys should check it out. If you love Chargers, you got to check out the site. Again, Booga P, we appreciate everything for it.
Just so you guys know, the chat room is going crazy. I wanted to bring up a couple things that were brought up in the chat room while you guys were on the phone. SD Red 1967 says he thinks the Chargers should bring Marty back as the GM and Cower in as the coach.
What do you guys think about that?
I would love that because
God! Look at the camera. Instant gratification.
I mean, they're best friends. Cowher's. I think Cowher's daughter lives up in LA area. That would be phenomenal.
That's like fantasy stuff, man. That's just that's two old hard-nosed coaches.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's wood talking, baby.
That's wood, baby.
That would excite some Charger fans. Oh yeah, I think Marty would come down the field and yell at people. That'd be great at the refs. That'd be fun for the whole family, man.
Absolutely.
That was a great. Whoever thought of that, kudos to you. Kudos to the chat room.
Yeah, I could see it happening.
That's awesome, man. I that's just fantasy, but you know what? Anything can happen.
Anything can happen in the fantasy world. So, guys, we want to touch on a little bit of Aztecs.
Yeah, baby.
First off, we're going to start off with Aztec football. We want to congratulate as Mountain West champs 9-3.
What a
year! They were accepted to the Poinsettia Bowl against their arch rivals from BYU. All in all, they've had a really, really good season. They're doing some really good things the last couple of years in Aztec football.
Oh man, all of Aztec sports is going crazy. Football is just one of them. Started with Brady Hoke. He changed the personality of Aztec football. It wasn't a step on me school anymore. It was a play hard, play good defense type of school. And Rocky Long has just carried that over into what now is a Mountain West title, which is amazing for football.
Absolutely, it's a huge step.
Yeah, and how long has it been? I think it's 91 or something. That's something weird that they haven't won in so long. But anyway, congratulations to them. What a year. They've had some really good. They upset Boise State in their house.
That's impressive.
Huge win. They go on the road and beat Nevada and Reno. Holy cow. And then you go up to Laramie last week, and in a game that a lot of people thought was kind of a meaningless game, and they thought they'd win. Wyoming played tough football like they always do. It's hard to go up there and win, and the Aztecs put it to them and got the job done. So
absolutely,
congrats to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations. Now I'm interested, or I'm intrigued on what's happening with the Big East. The Aztec football is supposed to go to the Big East, and the Big East is not the big anything. It's not the East anything. It's been exploded and rebuilt.
It's the big question mark is what it is. I don't know what the Aztecs are doing.
So, I mean, other than, I'm assuming there's got to be a TV contract that's involved, which is going to give them, more opportunity to, get some money for the school, to get more prospects to help continue to build this, thing we got rolling here. But there's still a big question mark on what that conference is going to be in general.
Yeah, and when they signed up for the Big East and they accepted that, Jim Sturk, the AD there, he wanted to put the Aztecs on the map. But that was before 50 schools dropped out of the Big East, and it's no longer the Big East. It's the big question mark to me. They just signed Tulane and Eastern Carolina today.
Eastern Carolina, yep.
Tulane's going to be our big rival.
Right.
Yeah, cool, the Green Wave. Let's beat their ass today.
I have heard that BYU is considering joining.
Yeah, and I think, and don't put the Aztecs in the Big East right away and solidify them yet. I know I've heard Sturk on the radio saying they're for sure going to go, but people are dropping out. Money, TV revenue is going to fall, and this might not be a super conference anymore. The way the committee might look at it differently. I would not be surprised if the Aztecs are back in the Mountain West next year.
Well, and that goes for not only football but basketball. I mean, yes, the basketball team's going to be going to the Big West,
which is fine for now.
For now,
it is.
The competition they have in that conference compared to what they would be facing in the Mountain West. I just think you want to play those good teams. You want to consistently have people that are going to push you to the fourth quarter where you got to come up with that, clutch 3-point shot or, hit those free throws down the stretch where, you go up to these, you're playing Long Beach State. I mean,
Long Beach State isn't bad though. UC Irvine isn't bad. Some of these schools,
they're not bad, but they're not UNLV. They're not New Mexico. They're not Colorado State.
You got to look at it from a different perspective too. I mean, there's a couple perspectives here. Yes, it's a downgrade. But Big West is they are contracted through ESPN. They get on TV a lot. They get a lot of exposure. I don't foresee the Aztecs being in the Big West for very long, if maybe 1 to 2 years tops. I see them in the future accepting a bid maybe to the Pac-12. Maybe if the Pac-12 extends their conference, maybe go into a better conference in the Midwest. Who knows? Aztec basketball, you got to remember, now is on a national stage. So for me, that tells me what can you do in your non-conference scheduling, right? Who can you schedule? You've already signed home and a home away with K-State. You're looking at UConn now. You've signed an agreement with UConn. You're going to be playing teams that are legit. You're gonna play Pac-12 teams that are always good and solid. Everybody wants to go to the Pac-12, you know.
No, we saw it against USC just the other day. I mean, we pushed out to a 19-point lead. You know, they brought in their friggin' 7'2" behemoth, and you know, unfortunately, we lost to Sean Stevens, but they slowly whittled that away.
Right.
You know, and it was a battle. It was a battle all the way to the end.
Well, when you lose two starters like that, we know how important Chase Tapley is, Deshaun Stevens is. Those guys are key for us. You got a sharpshooter in Tap and D. Stevens in the middle. He is an absolute monster. Offensive boards, getting the extra chance, opportunities. So, yeah, big loss, but you know what? The young guys stepped up. Winston Shepard played a little well. Jay Frank pretty much took over the ball game. Rayhan hit some threes. All overall, good performance and a solid bench depth win for the Aztecs and Steve Fisher.
Right, and guys, if you haven't been following the Aztecs, they're ranked 23rd in the nation. They're off to a very hot start. They're 4-1 in their non-conference. They lost battled to Syracuse on the midway, which I mean could have been a different story indoors.
Maybe.
You know, because we got tons of rebounds. We got to the free throw line a lot in that game. You know, we went up to USC and we knocked them off. We face UCLA this coming Saturday, who was ranked 11th. They've kind of fallen off the top 25, but they're a force to be reckoned with.
Right, the Wooden Classic. That's
absolutely
our first time in the Wooden Classic, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I don't think it is.
I think it is.
Is it?
I think it is.
Well, if it is, then yeah, we've arrived now. I mean, we're here. So.
And what Justin was touching on, we go up to USC without one of our best players in Chase Tapley. Then 8 minutes into it, we lose Deshaun Stevens, who is a beast on the boards. I mean, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, blocks.
Yeah.
The guy is really key to our defense, and really, I mean, as much as we are a guard-oriented team in our shooting and our scoring, we're really built around defense.
We are.
Mean, the team really tends to stretch their offense and really push them back to really have to rely on the three ball because they just can't get into the paint on us.
Right, and this is what we touched on before the season started. Me and you were looking at each other. Look at all the possibilities of these lineups, dude. Like, we were excited. Like, we can run the fast break. We can post you up. We can perimeter play you. We can be a guard oriented team. For me, I was so stoked on the guys we brought in. Depth wise, look at Skylar Spencer, playing absolutely out of his mind as a freshman. Just solid. He's a solid player just coming in here. Don't forget, we get a transfer from Virginia, James Johnson, in here midway through the season. He's a huge body. He's going to add way more depth. Imagine Stevens and him under the glass. That's going to be so much better. Dwayne Poley, I think he's got to get going here. I haven't seen anything splendid by him yet. He'll get there. Just a lot of good pieces to put together. Steve Fisher's tinkering with the lineups every week. He's putting different guys in with different guys so they can mesh. So when conference play comes around, we won't have any issues or questions about, well, this guy plays this way or a certain way. He's doing a very good job of getting these guys acclimated to each other. So that's what I like to see, what I've liked so far. And just the overall continuity of the team and the way they battled against USC was a very good description of what Aztec basketball is.
Right, and just to give you some numbers really quick on their defense, as far as where the Aztecs rank, they're 14th in the country as far as defense goes, and they're 36th in scoring margin, which means, as far as what they score compared to what they give up defensively. Who I've been really excited about from day one, I mean, from the Syracuse game on, I've really seen a lot of heart and hustle, and is J.J. O'Brien. That guy has been a
beast.
Stud.
Hashtag beast mode.
As far as his defense, as far as his rebounds, he doesn't put up a ton of points.
I call him the garbage man.
But, I mean, the guy is all go. no quit.
Always around the ball.
Always around the ball. Mm-hmm. Him, and I mean, if Rayhan lights up like 3-point land like he did against USC,
the Trojans,
he alone really carried our team. I mean, Jamal Franklin is obviously a stud. Chase Tapley is obviously a stud. But when Rayhan is on, that gives us another dimension, another threat, and just makes us that much more dangerous from the offense. They can't just key on Jamal Franklin because they're going to leave Rayhan over here. He's just going to be dropping threes all day long.
Right, and that brings me to my next point. I mean, what I've been hearing from Ben Howland in the UCLA side, I go on websites, I kind of watch news conferences. Ben Howland, the coach of the Bruins, has been saying he's going to play a zone, just kind of like what Boeheim did against us for Syracuse. That to me would be welcoming, because what we touched on before the show, I go, well, on the ship, you had to account for wind. We're a guard-oriented team. We're going to take those shots.
Right.
They were a little off, yes, and we know that. We know we can shoot better from the field, and we
had
did.
Like 37 free throws in that game.
Yeah, and we knew coming into that that was going to be a tough day against Syracuse. But for me, against UCLA Saturday for the Wooden Classic, if he throws a zone at us, I think we're ready. And if Rayhan's shooting, like you said, like that, I think we're almost unbeatable if Rayhan can hit the three like that, because he seems to be always wide open in the corner.
Absolutely.
If he goes 8 for 13 in a game and threes and he's just scorching the net, hallelujah, because that just makes it less work on our big guys, kicks it out to the guards. They're doing their thing, and it just makes everybody's life easier. So hopefully he continues on that.
And if you guys aren't fortunate enough to make it up to UCLA like this guy over here is, UCLA and San Diego State, they're facing off on Saturday at 7 p.m. So catch it. It's on ESPN U. We appreciate all your phone calls. We appreciate you guys following. This is a show for fans.
By the fans.
I'm with Justin Smead. I'm Josh Taylor, and we are out, guys.
See you guys. Thanks for the support.